Hey guys, April Zero here. I just installed a new version of Photoshop and have to set it up, so I wanted to show you guys what I usually do. So first thing is getting rid of this dark background here, the application frame. And we just uncheck that and all of a sudden we have a nice clean workspace and you can see what's behind it, working with different windows and stuff. Personally I prefer the light color scheme, but that's obviously not necessary. And there's a little Easter egg here. You can switch it to teacups and toast and stuff. Um, Performance is probably one of the biggest concerns we're going to have. So we want to use a little more RAM. Make sure it's tall and thin. And the biggest thing here is history states. So it depends how comfortable you feel. It's kind of your safety net, but it also slows everything down. It has to save each state in memory. So I usually turn it down to 5, but you might want a little more if you want that safety net. You can change the colors of everything to kind of match your document depending on your color scheme and stuff, so you can easily see the lines. And then we're just going to switch everything from pixels to inches, inches to pixels, sorry. And if you do stuff with mobile, like Scala View or something similar, you want to enter a name and password here so your phone can connect to Photoshop and preview it from there. So that's it for the main preferences. Now we're going to try setting up our palette. So the really two things that you're going to want to have are the swatches, so you have a good set of colors, and your layers, and you want to basically have as many of your layers showing as you can. So we're going to basically get rid of everything else. History is sometimes good to have, so we have it kind of easily accessible, but it's kind of closed, so you can just click on it and pop it open when you need it. So now we have a lot more space, and we're going to make sure color settings are good. sRGB is what you want, and so that's the current working document, so that looks good to us. Always make sure you're using sRGB and not some other color profile that makes everything look nicer. Otherwise, when you actually export it, you're gonna end up having different colors, and everyone's gonna see something different than what you were looking at. And so now we're gonna try to set up our layer options a little better. There's a few really quick things that just will make your life a lot easier. Obviously, keeping your layers well organized is important. So the first thing is switching the layer bounds to the entire document. That way, in this little thumbnail, you actually see what the layer is rather than like a little dot if it's like a button or something. See, so that rectangle, you see the whole thing in there. Also getting rid of the copy. Every time you duplicate, that way you don't have layer 1 copy, layer 2 copy. Because keeping your layers well named and organized is really important, even if you're working by yourself, but especially if other people are going to be opening it. Otherwise, they're going to have a miserable time. But it's not that easy to name layers by default. I think that's why a lot of people don't. But you can really easily create a shortcut for it, and everyone should. What you want to do is up to you. I do F2 just because that's Windows had that once, and F1 too, just in case you miss. So that makes it really easy. Now you have no excuse to not rename your layers. And a couple other things I do really frequently are use drop shadows. I also use smart objects a lot. If you've never used them, it's kind of like includes for your Photoshop documents. So if you have a common element like a logo or navigation across all your documents, you can use that as a smart object instead of having to sort of recreate it every time and maintain multiple versions and stuff. So that's very handy. So I use that a lot. It's a few quick keyboard shortcuts that I'm used to and expect for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to add a couple more here for replacing the smart objects once you've created them. But that's pretty much the first 5 minutes of my Photoshop workflow, and at this point you're pretty much ready to start designing. So yeah, good luck and have fun.